Hi guys, Rosie from Utila Dive Center here. Today we're going to talk about one of the questions that's most often asked by some of my open water students. They always ask, is nitrox really worth it? So today we're going to talk about some of the advantages of diving nitrox and why we recommend all divers should consider it. So diving with nitrox is going to be slightly different than diving with air. With air, we have 21% oxygen and 79% nitrogen, which, as you might remember from your open water course, is the reason why we have the limits on how long we can dive at different depths. So if we're diving with a higher percentage of oxygen, it's going to be a lower percentage of nitrogen, which allows you to stay at depth longer. So it doesn't mean you can dive deeper necessarily. You have to take into account the percentage of oxygen. So the higher the percentage of oxygen, the more shallow you have to stay. However, if you do a lower percentage of oxygen, maybe 28%, you can still go down to 40 meters, but keep in mind it's going to be very minimal time. So while you cannot go deeper necessarily with it, it does extend your bottom time significantly. So for example, as you might remember on your open water course based off the recreational dive planner, which we have right back here, if we were to go to 18 meters, we are only going to be able to stay down for 56 minutes. If you're diving with nitrox 32, which means it's 32% oxygen, the RDP table for 32% oxygen is going to tell you that you can stay down for 95 minutes. So it gives you significantly more bottom time. Another benefit of diving nitrox is if you're doing multiple dives in a day. So for example, if you're on our boats or on one of our travel trips, you're absorbing less nitrogen with every dive, and so it allows you to do more dives safely. Nowadays, the RDP tables are not as common. Most people have dive computers nowadays, so I always recommend my students, the first thing you should do is buy a mask, and the second should be a dive computer. So for example, my dive computer here allows me to plan based on the different gases. So my computer, if I go to plan mode, for 18 meters, it's going to give me 43 minutes. If I switch the gas to 32%, with 32%, it gives me 76 minutes. So that's considerably more time than if I was diving with air. Another benefit of diving nitrox is that it does reduce the risk of decompression sickness. So keeping in mind that it's the higher oxygen percentage and the lower nitrogen percentage, that's less nitrogen that's dissolved into our tissues, making it a safer dive for you. These are all things that you would learn in your nitrox course, which is a very easy course to take. It's only about 2 or 3 hours, and it is a dry course, so you don't even have to get in the water for it. There you have it, guys. There's a few reasons why I think that diving nitrox is very beneficial to every diver.